That's exactly where email in a modern business development for B2B companies becomes so crucial, right? I mean, it is so hard to get to those decision makers through old methodologies and phone. You've got to get to where they're at, and they're at their email address. And of course, LinkedIn is somewhat effective. It's slower, but it's somewhat effective. Um, but the key to getting decision makers to schedule a meeting with you is to first you have to ask them if they have a pain point. Email's the best way to do that, right? Hey, I'm so and so, curious if you have this pain point, right? Do you have this pain point? If you do, we can help you solve it. This is what I want to do next. Now, the what I want you to do next is the crucial part, and what most companies misunderstand is they think that because someone has the pain point that they will automatically schedule a call with you before they look at anything about your company, and they won't. And the reason is because one thing, and there's a couple of things, and we can talk about that later, but the one thing that all business owners and executives have in common is that they're all busy. They're all hyper scheduled. So they don't have time to just schedule a 15-minute call with you because you solve a pain point. They want to know, what pain point do you solve? How do you solve it? And at what cost? So your initial outreach to them is to ask if they have the pain point. Tell them you can solve it, and then give them a direction and say, hey, I want to send you over this. This is our, program information and price sheet. Then if you look at, after you look it over, right? If it's interesting enough, if you're interested, then let's schedule a call. That is appealing to them on the receiving side because they don't feel like they have to commit time yet, right? Because they're trying to protect two things, their time and their money. So they want to know, okay, you solved the pain point. Now I want to know how and how much is it going to cost? Is it worth my time to have this conversation? Because I'm busy and I don't want to schedule 15 minutes with you just because you say you can solve a pain point. And that's what so many marketers in B2B miss, and sales. They misunderstand that. Everyone is hyper scheduled. They're busy. They do not have the time to just schedule 15 minutes with you because you solve their pain point. They want to know how and at what cost, because they want to know that they qualify for budget, that it's within their realm. That doesn't mean you have to give them every ounce and piece of that information every time, but it helps, right? So again, you go at them with email where they're at. You say, hey, do you have this pain point? If you do, we can solve it. Here's basically how, but I want to send you over this, have you look at it, right? And then if you're interested, we'll jump on a quick call. So they're going to say, great, it solves my pain point. I can look at it. I don't have to commit any time or money yet. Now your collateral matters, your video matters. And then when you get that reply, your SDRs or your salespeople can go after those people, right? And try to push a little bit harder, answer questions, ask questions, answer questions, so on and so forth, to move them to schedule a call. But your initial outreach is not asking them to just schedule a call, right? And that is the key to getting to B2B decision makers and getting them to schedule a meeting with you, is you have to be able to process them through that methodology, that process, solve this pain point. This is what it's going to cost, right? Look it over. If you're interested, jump on a call. Then you send them the follow-up with that information after they say, yes, sir, send it over to me. You send that information, right? Whatever it is, it's a PDF, a pitch deck, link, whatever it is. And you give them a really quick blurb summary. Take a look at it. I'd love to chat with you. Here's the link to my calendar. Now you have a call to action if they're interested to schedule a call with you. It works, and it always works consistently. Then for those that reply that don't schedule a call with you, if you want to, sales or BDR, SDR can go chase those people down, ask some questions and say, hey, you asked for this. We hadn't heard from you yet. Curious to know why you were interested, right? Dig in, find out their pain point, evaluate a little bit, see if they're justified for a call with sales. And if they are, now we move them into a salesperson. Or if the salesperson's doing that follow-up, then they've obviously covered it for themselves right on that call. But that's how you get qualified meetings consistently with decision makers. And email is definitely one of the keys to that, but it's the process and the methodology of not trying to ask them to do too much too fast. You don't shout at them with an advertisement. You don't just ask them for a meeting. That you have to respect their time, because from their point of view, they're too busy to just schedule a meeting with you.